comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
Ooh. What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Popcast. I am DK Wrestler.
And I am MD Shady.
And in today's podcast, we are bringing back our Funko Soda themed podcast. So this podcast, we are just talking about Funko Sodas. I think this is the third time I believe we've done this in the history of doing a Funko Popcast. And we thought we'd do something a little different, especially because our first fandom related podcast of 2022 does not happen until the beginning of May, when we talk about the very first Star Wars movie. And what I mean by the first one was the one that came out in 1977 to celebrate the 45th anniversary. So we thought that at this point we would do a Funko Soda podcast to kind of freshen up the podcast for this week. And then we will talk about essentially the top 10 Funko Pops of March 2022, essentially on next week's podcast. But we got some pretty banger sodas to talk about. And for this, we're not going to start from where we left off on the last soda podcast. We're just doing the sodas that were announced so far this year in 2022, just because it would take so much time to go back to. I want to say it was August the last time we did a soda podcast. So there's been a lot of sodas announced since then. These range from February 4th to March 18th, which obviously the first set of Funko sodas we will discuss about right now range from February 4th to February 8th. So kicking off February 4th, which was the first set of Funko sodas announced by Funko in 2022. Is the first ever Funko Soda 6-pack, which we got ourselves Black Light Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sodas, which we got ourselves Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, Bebop, and Rocksteady, which of course the chases are just different color variants, almost reverse color variants of what they are normally are for the commons, in which these are Funko Shop exclusives and are limited to 10,000 pieces. Then on February 8th, Funko had obviously announced a nice set of Funko sodas, which kicking off, we have ourselves an Entertainment Earth exclusive Carnage for the Marvel lineup, which has a 1-in-6 chase of Cletus Cassidy, which will be limited to 20,000 pieces. A Funko Shop exclusive Winter Soldier for the Marvel lineup, which has a metallic chase limited to 10,000 pieces. A Previews exclusive Goliath from the Gargoyles, which has a 1-in-6 stone chase and will be limited to 12,500 pieces. Darkseid from the Justice League, which has a staff chase and is limited to 12,500 pieces. Yogi Bear with a 1-in-6 flock chase, which will be limited to 10,000 pieces. Geralt from The Witcher, which will have a metallic chase and is limited to 10,000 pieces. Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, which will have a Doofus Rick chase limited to 12,500 pieces. Gizmo from Gremlins with 3D glasses chase, which will be limited to 10,000 pieces. A George Sanderson from Monsters, Inc. with a 1-in-6 cone chase, which will be limited to 10,000 pieces. Sam from Trick or Treat, which will have a lollipop chase, which will be limited to 9,000 pieces. Pete from the Disney lineup, which will have an angry face chase limited to 9,000 pieces. And last but not least, for this section of Funko sodas, we have Frankenstein, which has a 1-in-6 glow in the dark chase and will be limited to 8,500 pieces. So kicking off for this would be the Black Light Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sodas, which these are pretty decent. It was really cool to see the announcement finally of 6-pack sodas, because Brian Mariotti actually teased it on Twitter and no one was really talking about this except me. These Black Light sodas I do enjoy because I like the brightness of the green of the Ninja Turtles per se better than the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sodas, because I felt like the green on them was a little bit darker than what we got here. And the Blacklight, Rocksteady, and Bebop are okay. I don't really know how I like the colors involved here, like the main color being purple on Rocksteady and then the pink being on Bebop. But overall, they are pretty decent. And the chases are pretty decent also. I feel like if I were to get one of the chases, which for those that might not know, for the 6-pack sodas, when you get these, only one random character out of the whole 6-pack will have the chase and the rest will be the common. So if I were to choose one, if I had the ability to choose one of the chases, I would like to have the Raphael chase, just because I like how that red stands out as the main color with green kind of being the secondary color, since that's pretty much what they did with the turtles is simply swap out the color of their skin with the color of the mask that they have. And I'm not really a fan of the Bebop chase because of the fact that it looks so similar to the chase of the original Bebop soda. And then the Rocksteady is okay. I do enjoy it better than actually the chase or the common version of the Rocksteady Blacklight soda. And even that Loungefly bag that it comes in, the little cooler, is also pretty decent and gives you a bit of a bang for your buck for being $100 US on the Funko shop. Then we got ourselves Carnage for the Marvel lineup, which I was excited to see this. I was hoping that there would have been a Carnage soda, considering we have the Venom one. And I like the way they did this compared to the Venom one, because I believe all they did with the Venom one was they take what essentially we would have here for the common, but just add a tongue to it as the chase. While for this one is simply what they did with Funko Pops, where you already have Carnage, but then there was already a Funko Pop made of Carnage as Cletus Cassidy, where you get part of the face of Cletus Cassidy shown there. So I really like that. I kind of wish they did that with the Venom soda, but overall, I'm hoping to get a couple of these because I would like to have a common and chase in my collection. Then we got the Winter Soldier soda, which this is pretty decent. I definitely think it does make sense for this to be metallic because of the mechanical arm that the Winter Soldier has, and especially the weapon he has in his hands too. I think it's pretty decent. I just don't like, once again, what they've done with sodas, where if it's metallic, they'll also include the hair to be metallic, which I'm never really a fan of. Then we got ourselves Goliath from the Gargoyles, and this is pretty decent. Once again, this goes along with what I said about Carnage, where it definitely makes sense for the common and chase because they've made Funko Pops of Goliath, just the regular one, and then they have done a kind of stone version of Goliath as a Funko Pop also, not as the chase of the what would be common, but it was two separate pops, and I think they did a pretty decent job as terms of this. It's probably one of the more detailed sodas we've gotten as of late. Then we got ourselves Darkseid from Justice League, and this is okay. I mean, I felt like they could have done a little bit better. I don't exactly know what they could have done, but I just felt like all they did was just have the staff in his hand, and I feel like you could have done something else, in my opinion. Then we got ourselves Yogi Bear, which has a flock chase, and this is pretty decent. I like the common because you have Yogi Bear with the basket, and he's got a nice bright color to his fur there. But then you also kind of like the chase because it's flocked, but the downside is that you don't get that basket with it. So it's kind of that thing of, do I want to just get the common because it has a basket, or do I want to get the chase because it's flocked, but at the same time, it doesn't come with that basket? So it's kind of that money grab of Funko wanting fans to possibly get more than one can so that they end up trying to get that chase also into their collection. Then we got ourselves Geralt from The Witcher, and this is okay. I mean, I kind of like the metallic effect because of the outfit and the sword that he has in his hands, but I also like it because it's not just the metallic effect that is different for the chase. It's also the face and how, once again, it's like what we've seen with the Funko Pop, where you kind of have that pale white face and then kind of like the veiny eyes going on right there. And I think that's pretty decent to add for the chase instead of just doing a specification difference. Then we got ourselves Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, and I think this is awesome. I like how they ended up doing Doofus Rick as the chase. I felt like they could have done like a slight change. I don't exactly know what, or even did a specification change as terms to Rick Sanchez for the soda, but I really like that they went with essentially two different variants of Rick Sanchez, and I probably gonna get multiples of this can because I really like that Doofus Rick chase. Doofus Rick is probably my favorite version of Rick Sanchez. Doofus Rick was pretty funny in the show, and they even made a pop, which I think is decently expensive now from what I last remember. So if I got the soda, I'd be perfectly fine with basically never getting the pop of Doofus Rick. Then we got ourselves Gizmo from Gremlins, and this is pretty decent. I mean, all they did for the difference in the common and the chase is just add the 3D glasses. It would have been cool if they would have made this flocked also, but overall, I think it's still pretty decent. If I were to get one and it's just the common, I'd be fine with it. I wouldn't care about getting the chase. Then we got George Sanderson from Monsters, Inc., and this is amazing. I was really hoping that we would get a George Sanderson pop, since we haven't gotten one since the very first wave of Disney pops, or the second wave, I can't exactly remember, but the fact they made it into a soda form, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when we did our fandom related podcast on Monsters Inc., and during that 5 days of content all about Monsters Inc., I did do a soda video, and I think I did say that I wanted to see a George Sanderson with the chase exactly the way that it is. So I think it's great that we get this. And this is definitely one where not only possibly will I get multiples to try to get both the common and the chase, but there's a chance we could possibly get a full case of this because we really want the chase so badly. Then we got Sam from Trick or Treat, and I think this is okay. You got the lollipop for the chase, and then you got the bag of candy for the common. I feel like, at least in my opinion, this is one of those sodas where if I got the common, I wouldn't really need the chase. Then we got Pete from Disney, and I don't really know too much about Pete, but I kind of like the different posings and facial expressions in terms to the common and the chase. I think they did a pretty sweet job. I feel like this is one where a lot of people are going to want to try and get that chase because I do kind of like that chase better. And then last but not least for this section, we have Frankenstein, which I think this is pretty decent. I would be fine with just the common because that's how I think of Frankenstein with his arms out like that. The glow in the dark is okay, but I do like how they changed the posing on it though, where he is holding the flower, because once again, they have done a Funko Pop where it's Frankenstein holding the flower. And I believe it was glow in the dark if I'm not mistaken. So it's cool to have that kind of a change and a specification change also as terms to molding and specification change.
So starting off with the Blacklight Soda 6-pack for TMNT, I personally think that this is really awesome. Actually, last night I was watching a video that I believe it was on Slapshot Pop's YouTube account. He had a few other people on in a little podcast format, and they were talking about this. And I really respect some of the opinions that some people had, like saying that it's the same molds as the original figures, just a little bit different in paint. And it really does seem like kind of a money grab thing for Funko. But I do really enjoy these, and I like the fact of getting like a 6-pack of cans. I think is cool. And obviously that bag as well is phenomenal. It's really cool that we get a bag like that, especially for the extra $10 Canadian, I think is what it works out to be when you price each can out within that $100. So that's really cool. I like that they're blacklight. The one thing I don't like about this is that you're guaranteed one chase. And obviously that's cool. You get a chase. But at the same time, I think I'd rather take a set of commons, honestly. The only chase that I really like is the Bebop. And I just feel like, which I actually did just pay for one of these cases today, so I will be expecting it to arrive shortly. When I go to open mine up, I really hope that I don't get a chase of one of the turtles because it just totally throws off the look of the set if you want to display it. I really hope it's Bebop, and then obviously if not Bebop, I would take a Rocksteady, but I do really enjoy the Rocksteady because he's purple in the common, so that's kind of perfect for me. But overall, I do enjoy this. I think that the blacklight is going to look very well on them, and obviously that soda bag as well is just so cool, and I can't wait to add this to the collection. Then we have the Entertainment Earth exclusive Carnage, and this is pretty dang sweet. The common is really cool. I really enjoy how they went about showing Carnage in a soda form because he is kind of a weird character to see in the stylization of soda figures. And then the chase is awesome where you have Cletus Cassidy kind of poking out from the face. It's so cool. I definitely want to get a common and a chase. Then we have the Winter Soldier, and this is not that great in my opinion. It seems very lackluster, and then the chase also seems lackluster. I mean, it's cool that you get metallic and you get a little bit of a change of mold, but it's so slight. And honestly, in the glam shot, you can almost not tell that he comes with that like rifle that's in his hand. But yeah, I don't like this. And then we have Goliath from Gargoyles, and this is awesome. I really enjoy both versions. I like the common a lot, and the chase is really cool as well because he's in stone. And yeah, looking over at my Gargoyles, there definitely are quite a few Gargoyles pops that were turned into stone in chase versions or exclusive versions. So it's really neat that they did it this way. I really like that. And I wouldn't mind actually seeing more sodas for different Gargoyles where you also have the chase version being stone, because that just makes so much sense for the show. Then we have Darkseid, and this is a weird soda in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of the common, and I'm also not really a huge fan of the chase. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it just seems like a chase, kind of like DK said, where they could have done something else that maybe would have made it more exciting. It just seems lackluster to me. Next up, we have Yogi Bear, and the common is really cool. I really enjoy how he has the picnic basket on him. And then the chase is also very cool as well, where you get the flocking and you do lose out on the picnic basket. But I also like how he has a figure up where he's basically saying, like, oh, hey, boo boo. That's pretty cool. I definitely need to get multiple of this kid. I would like to have both the common and the chase. Then we have Geralt from The Witcher, and this is a pretty solid soda can. I don't think I would get this, but I do really like it. I think the common looks good. There's a decent amount of detail going on. And then the chase, I think, is the one that a lot of people are going to want because you have whatever it is that's going on with them. I'm not a huge fan of The Witcher, and I haven't seen the Netflix adaptation of it. So I do think that that chase is pretty good, though, and that will be the figure that people are definitely wanting to get. Then we have Rick Sanchez, and this is pretty cool. The common is awesome. You have your standard Rick with the portal gun, and then you have the chase, which is Doofus Rick. I will probably buy one can of this. If I get lucky enough to pull the chase, DK could probably have it. I only want the common, but I do think that that chase is amazing, and amazing because it's a complete figure swap. It's the head and the body are totally different from the common, and that's what we love to see with soda can chases. Then we have one of my personal favorites, and that is Gizmo from Gremlins. And this is a decent looking figure. He kind of does look weird in soda form, in my opinion, but I'm still definitely going to be buying a full case of this. I need both the common and the chase because Gremlins is the one thing that I pretty much collect the most of outside of collecting Funko. So these are really cool. I do like the chase, how he has the 3D glasses, but I wish they also would have made him flocked, kind of like we've seen with the other figures where there's a bit of a chase, like the Yogi Bear. He's flocked, but he also has the figure up instead of the basket. I think that they could have done that with this soda can, and it would have made it way better. But again, I still love this. Next up, we have George Sanderson, and this is an amazing soda can. I love the can itself. I think the can looks really, really well with the logo of the soda being in the orange and the yellow. Then the common figure, really cool. Looks like George Sanderson. I love the posing, how he kind of looks a little like he looks so happy. He's got like his fists clenched, kind of like he's excited. And then the chase is the complete opposite, where he's in the cone and he's shaven. And I would assume that there is going to be a sock on his back. If there isn't, I'd be very surprised. But I think we'll probably see the sock on the back. This is a soda that we will definitely be getting at least one full case of. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if we got two full cases because I know me and DK both need that chase. Then we have Sam from Trick or Treat, and this is an okay soda. I feel like this is going to be one of those sodas, kind of like I think that Gizmo will be like as well, where it's a really small figure in this can. And that's not a bad thing necessarily because obviously Sam is a small character. This is definitely the like least scary version of Sam I've ever seen. He does not look menacing at all. For some reason, he looks extra happy and not scary whatsoever in this, but that doesn't take away from it being a pretty decent soda can. I do think the common is the best. Then we have Pete, and this is an awesome soda can as well. I think I do like the common more than the chase. The chase isn't bad by any means, but I just think that there's something so classic looking about that common that if I were to open one can and get the common, I'd be completely happy with that. But this is a great soda can. Lastly, we have Frankenstein, which I always find interesting that they put Frankenstein on the package, considering it's technically Frankenstein's creature or monster. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that Frankenstein is actually the person who made the monster. But this is a really solid soda can. I really like the common. I think it's your classic Frankenstein, quote unquote, pose with the hands out. And then the chase is awesome, how he has the flower, and glow in the dark kind of makes sense for this, kind of not at the same time. But I do think because he's green, the glow would be very good. And overall, this is just a really cool can.
All right, so now we're going to move over to the next set of sodas, which are the sodas announced at Funko Fair 2022 and WonderCon 2022, which kicking off February 16th with Funko Fair. We got ourselves sodas of Doctor Strange, which will have a blue translucent chase limited to 15,000 pieces. Cyborg from Teen Titans Go, which will have a axe chase limited to 10,000 pieces. Ricochet Rabbit from Hanna-Barbera, which will have a different color swap for the chase plus carrots in his hands, which will be limited to 8,500 pieces. Samurai Jack from, of course, Samurai Jack, with a mask chase limited to 10,000 pieces. Goofy from the Disney lineup, which will have a different outfit for the chase, limited to 10,000 pieces. Gomez Addams from the Addams family, which will have a sepia chase and will be limited to 12,500 pieces. We have RoboCop, which will have an unmasked chase limited to 10,000 pieces. Klaus from the Umbrella Academy, which will have a, I guess, praying chase, which will be limited to 10,000 pieces. And last but not least, for Funko Fair, we have Dracula, which will have a mask chase limited to 12,500 pieces. Then on March 2nd, we have announced here the WonderCon exclusive Funko soda cans, which first we got ourselves a soda of Hades with a 1 in 6 red chase, which will be obviously WonderCon exclusive, but shared with Box Lunch on April 1st, which will be limited to 11,000 pieces. Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove, which will have a chase of her holding the vial, which will be shared to the Funko shop, limited to 10,000 pieces. And then we got ourselves blacklight variants of Banana Split sodas featuring Snorky, Fleagle, Bingo, and Drooper, which all of them will be shared to the Funko shop and will be limited to 5,000 pieces. So kicking off with Doctor Strange. This is a pretty cool soda, especially with the way that they did the posing. And I kind of like how the chase is, to be honest. It was something I didn't really expect. And I kind of want to see how it looks in person, because I don't know if it's going to be like much darker than it shows in the glam shot, or it might actually be as bright as it is. And you can see kind of the glitter speckles that are added to it. Then we got ourselves Cyborg from Teen Titans Go, and this is meh. I mean, you could have done so much better. Maybe an example is have your regular Cyborg from Teen Titans Go, but what about what Cyborg looked like in the original Teen Titans? Make that as the chase, because that would have been sweet, and that's something that people definitely would have wanted, because let's face it, the majority of us probably would rather like to see Teen Titans rather than Teen Titans Go. So to see this, I mean, meh. Then we got Ricochet Rabbit from Hanna-Barbera, and this is pretty decent. I like the kind of different mold changes where the common has the arms to the side, and then you have the arms kind of cross for the chase while he's holding carrots, and you also have a color swap, which is also pretty decent. I like when Funko does a chase where it's not only one thing that's changed, but it's like 2 to 3 things that change. So I do enjoy this, even though I don't think I'm going to get this soda can. Then we got Samurai Jack, which I believe this is the second Samurai Jack soda, because there was the original one with the black suit chase. And then now we have this one from the newer Funko Pop wave that has the masked chase, which I think that was the same thing with the Funko Pop, where the common was the unmasked and then the chase was the mask, or it was an exclusive. I don't exactly remember, but this is pretty decent. I'm sure there's going to be a decent amount of people that will want to get this soda. Then we got Goofy. This is pretty cool. I think the overall design of Goofy in Funko soda form, I think I actually like this better in soda form than I do in pop form. Then we got ourselves Gomez Addams from the Addams family, and I think this is pretty decent. I like how essentially the first one being black and white, because that's how I'm pretty sure the television series is. And then you have a different tone of color in sepia, which I think is really cool. And not only that, he is holding the hand, which I think is great. I think that's just an added touch of detail and something that would really convince someone to get multiple cans of this in order to get that chase. Then we got ourselves RoboCop, which this is pretty cool. I mean, I'd be perfectly fine with the common because that's how I know of RoboCop. But I mean, an unmasked version is also pretty decent. And I wonder, are both of these sodas metallic, or is one of them metallic, one of them not? Or maybe both of these aren't metallic at all. That's something I want to know. Then we got ourselves Klaus from the Umbrella Academy, which it's cool that we finally have Klaus. We had Pogo, which I do have a soda of that I didn't open up yet because I am saving that for that huge can cracking video we'll be doing in the future. And then there's also number 5 in soda form, which I'm not surprised they did that, but I'm glad that we got Klaus finally, because Klaus was probably one of, if not the fan favorite character, at least in my opinion, of the Umbrella Academy. I think my only gripe is that I wish they would have went with season 1 version of Klaus in soda form rather than this look, which was season 2 Klaus, where he's kind of like a cult leader. But if we had the season 1 version where he's wearing kind of like that pink jacket or purpley jacket, and he had the more shorter hair instead of the long hippie hair and the braided beard there, I think that would have been really cool. I think they could have pulled off a really cool common and chase for season 1 Klaus. I think I'm still going to get this because I wanted to get the season 1 Funko Pop, never obtained it, but at this point, I'm not really caring about the pop too much to want to get it. So to get the soda, I think I'd be perfectly fine with just getting the soda. Then we got ourselves Dracula from the Bram Stoker's Dracula. And this is actually really cool. Out of the Funko sodas for Funko Fair, I think this is the best one for the fact of, first of all, you got masked and unmasked for the common and chase. And especially with the masked attire, it looks like a different shading of red, almost like if it's a metallic effect rather than you have the outfit for the common. But at the same time, the common has more of a bright cherry red look to it, which I do like, and you get a cool blood splatter on the face there. Then we got ourselves Hades for the Disney Villains lineup, and this is really cool. It makes sense because they did do the Funko Pop the same way, where the common is the blue look to it with the blue hair, and then the chase is the red look with kind of the more orangey, yellowy hair there, which I think is really cool. I also like how they changed the hand posing. Obviously, the outfit is a different color because the common is black outfit and the chase is brown outfit. And you also have different facial expressions involved where you have more of a menacing, evil face for the chase. Obviously, is red, so it definitely makes sense. Then we got the Yzma soda, the scientist Yzma soda, I should say, and it is pretty cool to actually get a prediction right during the WonderCon predictions video we did, which I did predict this soda without really knowing what was happening because I know people like looking at those dirt sheet pages, which I don't. I kind of find it a little lazy, in my opinion, in terms of the common and the chase. I mean, it's cool that you have kind of the menacing hands there for the common, but I mean, I felt like you could have either had that and it would have been a singular can or have essentially the one with the vial and then that's a singular can. I don't think you would really need both. I kind of wish also they would have had the Scientist Kronk release at the same time as a soda, but maybe that's something for, I would say, San Diego Comic-Con in July, or maybe that could be WonderCon 2023. Who knows? Then we got ourselves the Blacklight Banana Splits, which I've mentioned on a few videos on the channel already on. I don't exactly know if banana splits actually make sense to be in blacklight form. Maybe MD could further his opinion on this because he knows more about banana splits than I do, but I do like the colorways. I think they are very different compared to the colorways we get for blacklight sodas in general, especially with Snorky, because with the 3 other ones, you basically got that same kind of color scheme of like pink, orange, and yellow per se, and maybe a little bit of purple. But with Snorky, you get blue as a main color and you get green as a main color, which I think I'd be fine with either or. The Bingo, I think, is my favorite out of the ones because I really like the way that both the common and the chase look. I almost like the chase better than the common, but it kind of flip-flops back and forth on whether I like the common or the chase better. Also, a little known fact is that if I'm not mistaken, this is actually the first soda of Drooper that is being made for the Banana Splits lineup because they already did Snorky, Fleagle, and Bingo there for sodas, but I don't think they made a regular Drooper yet for the soda lineup. So I was really surprised to see Drooper be made as a blacklight version first before we had gotten the regular version of Drooper, which I do like both the common and the chase for Drooper. I think that one's really cool also.
Starting off Funko Fair with the Doctor Strange soda. I think that this one looks really good. I like the posing of it. I really enjoy the common. I think that the chase version is pretty cool as well. And I would like to see it in person to see exactly how much it looks like this glam shot, because the glam shot, like DK said, it could be a lot darker or it could look really good like it does here. And you could definitely see a lot of the speckling in the figure itself. Then we have Cyborg from Teen Titans Go. And yeah, this is a pretty shitty soda can. I think that this will definitely be a shelf sitter type of soda can that you just see all the time. I heard that Teen Titans Go is actually a pretty good show. I just really don't like the style of it. I really did enjoy the original Teen Titans. And obviously, I do like DK's idea of how they could have had the common in the chase with the original Cyborg, but unfortunately, it is 2 different licensings technically because it would just be Teen Titans and not Teen Titans Go, which are 2 completely different shows. Though I would like to see a normal Cyborg from Teen Titans. I think that that'd be awesome and definitely a lot better than what we're seeing here. Next up, we have Ricochet Rabbit, and this is a pretty cool figure. I really do enjoy how different the chase is from the common. I do think that the common is kind of the better figure, though. It's more of the classic look for Ricochet Rabbit, in my opinion. Then we have Samurai Jack from the newer Samurai Jack episodes, the newer seasons. And this is cool. Obviously, we have seen exactly this in pop form, which I think makes a lot of sense. People love these newer episodes of Samurai Jack, so it makes sense for them to keep pumping out some Samurai Jack stuff. And the common looks great. I mean, the unmasked is cool, and the chase looks really cool as well. I think that people are definitely going to be wanting to get both. And I definitely regret not picking up the chase in stores when I first seen it. For the pop it is, anyways, because the mask just has so much detail and looks so great. And we have Goofy, and this is really cool. It's very interesting. I think that Goofy translates very well into soda form. I mean, it almost looks like not even a stylized soda figure, whereas sodas, they kind of always look, they have that same kind of look. But with this Goofy, it kind of just looks like a Goofy figure. And that's really cool. I do enjoy both the common and the chase. Unfortunately, the poses aren't really different, which kind of sucks, but they are completely different with the attires. So I think that that's a good thing. Next up, we have Gomez Adams. And this is a pretty cool soda figure. I do like the common and how it is in the black and white. And then the chase is really cool as well. And he does have Thing in his hand, which is also really cool. Definitely a way to make people really want to find that chase. The one thing that I find super interesting about this figure is that for the first time ever, I believe, I could be wrong about this, it's just a picture of the soda figure on the can, whereas normally there's some kind of illustration on the front of soda cans. But for some reason, with Gomez Adams, it's just the picture of his soda figure, which is just so weird. But maybe they just couldn't find a good way to illustrate Gomez in like a 2D form. Next up, we have RoboCop, and this is a really cool figure. I think that this will probably sell pretty well because you don't generally see a ton of RoboCop merchandise, and people definitely really do love these franchises of movies. So, yeah, this is cool. The chase is interesting how he has kind of the unmasked version, but I do think that people are really going to want just the common. So I guess it's a good soda in that sense where you're not going to have to go and buy a ton of them, the maximum of two if you end up getting lucky and pulling the chase on your first go. Then we have Klaus from the Umbrella Academy, and this is a pretty sweet looking figure. I do agree with DK that it would have been cool to see the season one version of Klaus, but I do think that this figure looks pretty cool. Unfortunately, the chase is kind of lazy where you just have the glasses off and the eyes closed, but I don't know exactly what else they could have done to make a chase for Klaus. Instead of maybe just they should have gave us a season one Klaus for the common and then the chase being the season two. That would have been really awesome. Then we have Bram Stoker's Dracula, and this is a pretty sweet looking figure. I think that both the common and the chase are pretty different from each other, and it definitely would make a fan want to get both the common and the chase. I do like the common a bit more because I think the colors look a little better, and I do like that unmasked kind of version of Dracula. But the chase isn't bad at all. I mean, the mask looks pretty sweet, and you get this more burgundy color with the what I would assume to be metallic figure, which is kind of interesting. Now, getting into the WonderCon sodas, we start off with Hades, which is awesome. I really enjoy this. I definitely want to get at least one of these. If I pulled the chase, cool. Obviously, it's a chase, but I do kind of just want to get the common. Who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind and actually want to get both because I think that both of these are very nice. I like how they're just different enough where the faces are a little bit different, even though it is just the same mold, but the bodies are different where you have two different poses and obviously two different characters, I guess you could say, because the chase is obviously when Hades is like getting angry and he gets all red. And I think that these are both phenomenal and I can't wait to get at least one of these figures. Then we have Yzma, the scientist Yzma. And first off, I want to say that one, it's weird that the Yzma that they show on the can is actually just her in her normal outfit. And then that goes on to my second point where I wish this would have just been a soda of her in her normal outfit and then the chase being the chase with the vial that she has there. They just seem way too similar of figures, though I do think that the chase is better. And then lastly, we have the Blacklight Banana Splits, and these are pretty dang awesome. I really enjoy these. I love the banana splits, and I wish I could get these, but I don't think I'm going to bring myself to do it because they're 5,000 pieces, so they're going to be hard to get, and they're also going to be probably pretty expensive on the secondary market if I had to guess. And I don't even have the common variations of the banana splits in soda form. I do have the pops, but I don't have the sodas. And I guess that goes on to the other point of, yeah, there's not even a drooper soda yet besides this blacklight one. So it's really interesting to see that we're getting this blacklight set before getting the drooper to finish off the common set. But I do think these are awesome. If I can find a good deal for 4 of these cans, I will definitely pick them up. And then to answer DK's question, does it make sense for banana splits to be in the blacklight form? And the first thing I want to say is that blacklight is hot right now. People really enjoy blacklight, me being one of them. I think it's a great idea. I think that they look wonderful, especially with a blacklight on them. And even when they don't, I still think that blacklight pops look really, really great, and sodas. So one, it's really hot right now, so I'm not surprised if they did it. And then two, this is a show that came out in the late 60s and continued on through the 70s. So, I mean, Blacklight is kind of fitting for it, though we've never really seen the characters in Blacklight themselves, but it is kind of that groovy kind of 60s, 70s vibe. So I like it, and I think it's a good idea.
Are you looking for great pop protectors? Then look no further than popbox.ca. They have a variety of 4-inch and 6-inch protectors in different quantities. Do you want to get 10 protectors, 20? You can get even up to 250 pop protectors over on popbox.ca. And also use our promo code of Funko Popcast for 10% off of your entire purchase of pop protectors. The code is going on until supplies last. So go get your pop protector needs now over on popbox.ca using our code of Funko Popcast to get 10% off.
And let me tell you guys, we're not just screwing around here. These are some great pop protectors. We own a multitude of these protectors. They are some of the best I've seen. Stop buying from EB Games. I'm not boycotting EB Games by any means, but their pop protectors are not as good. So again, use code of Funko Popcast for 10% off.
All right, moving on to the last set of Funko sodas we're going to be discussing about on this podcast, which range from March 9th to March 18th, which kicking off March 9th, Funko had announced the very first Star Wars Funko sodas, which we have ourselves Boba Fett with a 1-in-6 prototype Boba Fett chase, which will be limited to 15,000 pieces. And we got ourselves Luke Skywalker with a no hand chase, which will also be limited to 15,000 pieces. Then on March 11th, Funko had announced a Funko soda of Spider-Man, which has a glow-in-the-dark chase, will be a previews exclusive, and will be limited to 20,000 pieces. Then on March 16th, 316 day, Funko had announced a soda of Stone Cold Steve Austin with a Smoke and Skull Championship chase, which will be a GameStop exclusive, and this will be limited to 15,000 pieces. And then on March 18th, Funko had announced a huge set of Funko soda figures, which first off, we have 2 more Star Wars soda figures of Stormtrooper, which has a metallic chase, and Darth Vader, which will have a glow-in-the-dark chase, in which the Stormtrooper will be limited to 15,000 pieces, and Darth Vader will be limited to 20,000 pieces. Then we got ourselves a soda of Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop, which will have a no glasses chase. This will be exclusive to Box Lunch and will be limited to 12,000 pieces. Then we got ourselves Ashy from Samurai Jack, which will have a black outfit chase limited to 12,500 pieces. We have Sock Monkey, which the common is a blue version and the chase will be an orange version, which will be limited to 8,500 pieces. We have Shorty from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which has a black light chase and will be limited to 10,000 pieces. And last but not least, for this set of sodas overall, we have ourselves George Jetson of the Jetsons, which will have a helmet chase and will be limited to 10,000 pieces. Kicking off with Star Wars sodas, we finally have Star Wars Funko sodas, which it is a long time coming. A lot of people have been waiting for Star Wars Funko sodas, and we finally have them, 4 of them within the span of essentially a week that have been announced, which is absolutely awesome. which I do want to mention that out of both the Luke Skywalker and the Boba Fett, as terms to a common and chase, I really like the Boba Fett one better, just because with Boba Fett, they could have easily done a metallic chase of what the common looks like, but they went the different route and did the prototype Boba Fett where it's a different color swap. But I think it does look sweet, even though it is a color swap. And I'd probably rather want the common than the chase, but I'm sure a lot of people want to get both the common and the chase. Then we got ourselves Luke Skywalker, which this is okay. I like obviously the common where he has his outfit from Bespin and then he has the blue lightsaber. And then, yes, it definitely does make sense for him to have the hand cut off because that's involved in that scene in Empire Strikes Back. But I don't know, there's something that they could have done different. And I know that MD thought of something really cool. And I actually teased that in the video that we had posted this past Saturday about the recent Funko soda announcements that MD would mention about his idea of how this soda would turn out, which I will just let him talk about that idea when it's his turn to talk, which it's a really cool idea. So definitely stay tuned for that. Then we got the Spider-Man soda, which I think this is okay. I know this is the, I think, Japanese comics version of Spider-Man, I believe, because of that like kind of wrist thing, which I wish they would have just done regular Spider-Man. Just have him in the normal like pose with the like pew, 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 pew. I don't know exactly how to describe his posing, but like just having him with his arms crossed like this, it's just so weird. And especially it being glow in the dark, it's okay. But I mean, why did we have to get this version of Spider-Man and not regular Spider-Man per se? I mean, we already had Spider-Man No Way Home. Then we got Stone Cold Steve Austin, which finally I have been waiting since Funko sodas have been made for WWE Funko sodas. What? This will be a GameStop exclusive. What? With the Smoke and Skull Championship belt. What? No, but besides that, this is really cool. I like how the chase is him holding the Smoke and Skull belt because it will convince people like myself to want to get multiple cans to try and get that chase. And I can't wait for them to make more Funko sodas for the WWE lineup. Like I mentioned actually in that video this past Saturday, if I were to predict correctly, the next two would probably be The Rock and John Cena. Then we got ourselves the next set of Star Wars sodas, starting off with the Stormtrooper, which I think it definitely makes sense that they went the metallic route. I don't think you could have really done much with the Stormtrooper. The metallic effect might actually look pretty decent. I would have to see it in person though when it comes out, but it would be awesome just to even get a full case, because if you wanted to do like a Funko photo a day challenge and you had multiple Stormtroopers in it forming a lineup or something, I think that'd be pretty decent. And then we got ourselves my favorite Star Wars character of all time, Darth Vader, in Funko soda form. And this is pretty sweet. Although I am not convinced enough to get a full case to get that glow in the dark chase. I think this is one of those soda cans where if I get one and it so happens to be the chase, then pretty cool. But if it's just the common, I'm not going to go hunt for the chase. But either way, it's cool that Darth Vader gets his own soda. And it definitely makes sense that this is 20,000 pieces because a bunch of people are going to want to get Darth Vader. So why not make the piece count higher up compared to a lot of piece counts for sodas? Then we got ourselves the soda from Cowboy Bebop, which this is pretty decent. I mean, we already have actually a Cowboy Bebop soda, which I realized I'm pretty sure I forgot to add to this podcast, which was, I forget the character name, but the chase has the dog with it. I know that was a 2022 announcement. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, which was also a box lunch exclusive. So it's pretty cool, I guess, that a certain licensor so far has only been exclusive to the same retailer, but this is okay. I mean, I feel this is a bit lazy in my opinion though, because like you got ones with a shade and then you don't have the shades on the other. There's nothing really different besides that. So I feel like it's a little bit lazy. Then we got Ashy or Ashai. It's probably Ashy. I don't exactly know. MD probably knows though. From Samurai Jack. And this is really cool. Once again, I'm going to go the same route as I mentioned with the Bram Stoker's Dracula, where essentially the common and the chase are pretty much different as terms to not only like the different outfits, but the different colors. And I think it's well worth a soda where you might be able to get multiples, possibly a full case to get. You got the green outfit for the common with the arms to the side, but for the chase, it's a completely different body mold and it's wearing all black. And then we got a Sock Monkey soda, which, if I can be completely honest, if I would have thought of the next set of Funko soda figures, I would have never imagined Sock Monkey as a soda. And I don't even remember, has Sock Monkey ever been made into a pop yet? I don't exactly remember. I don't think so. So I guess it's cool to see Funko sodas get something made for them before a pop does, which these are okay. I don't know if I'm going to get these, which I do like the idea of these being less than 10K for the piece count, because I don't know the exact margin of fan base that would actually really want to get this. But I also think this isn't going to be the end of the Sock Monkey soda, because I feel like this is going to be the same route as Ratfink, where you can easily just make two different colors for the next common and chases for the Sock Monkey. Then we got Shorty from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is pretty decent. I already like how detailed the pops were. And now we have the sodas, which I believe there was the one clown that has already been made into soda form. And it's the exact same way that they did it, where you have the normal common version and then the Chase's Blacklight, which I do like the way that the Blacklight goes for the Killer Clowns sodas. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's still one more clown they have to do, or they might have already done it. I don't exactly know. But overall, this is a really cool soda. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to get that Blacklight Chase. And then we got ourselves the Jetsons. This is cool. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the only Jetson soda they made was the Rosie from last year. I don't really know too much about the Jetsons, but I do feel there is some sort of significance to where people will actually want the chase and actually enjoy the chase.
Okay, finally, we have some Star Wars soda cans, and I think that they're starting out pretty strong with Boba Fett, definitely a fan favorite character. And I think the common looks really good. The chase is also really cool with the white attire, because I believe the design for Boba Fett was actually supposed to be a type of trooper originally, but then it got changed, obviously, to the bounty hunter that we love nowadays. This is amazing, and it's interesting to see that these Star Wars sodas are actually coming with like a base that they stand on, whereas I don't think we've ever seen that with any other soda cans before. But that's really cool. I do think that the common and the chase are both really awesome. Do I think it could have been better? Maybe a better chase. I don't know how they would have done it, but I do think that this works, and I think it's great.
I do want to mention, before you move on to Luke Skywalker, I forgot to mention this. It's a huge important thing, is that, in case anyone was noticing, and it does say on the can, is that these will be bobbleheads because of the Star Wars licensing.
I knew it. I was actually going to bring that up, is that I thought that the reason for the base was because it would be a bobblehead, and now we know. Scary, actually. It's a little scary hearing that now, because I don't know if any of you guys, I'm assuming a good portion of you guys probably have picked up some of the Star Wars mystery minis, is that you don't always necessarily get a straight head on those mystery minis because they are bobbleheads. Easily fixable, but you do run the risk of potentially breaking the spring if you want to twist it back into position, or sometimes they get a little wonky. You have to really be careful with it. So I guess that is a little bit of a warning I will give with these soda cans, but who knows? So we have Luke Skywalker, and it is Bespin Luke Skywalker, a version of Luke Skywalker that people love because people love The Empire Strikes Back. I personally am not a huge fan of The Empire Strikes Back. I do think it's a great movie. This is my least favorite version of Luke ever. So what my idea was, and if you guys remember with the, what are they called? The Donald Duck and the three El Capadres or whatever the hell it was.
Something like that, like I don't even remember the name, to be honest. I might have to search it up.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, and I feel terrible for not remembering what they're called. You had two different chase versions for that, which I thought is such a great idea. And I thought that you could possibly have like three different chase versions for this Luke Skywalker, though I do think that the missing hand is a really good chase. I wish that this would have been a normal Tatooine Luke Skywalker soda as the common, and then you have three different chases you can get, those chases being Hoth Luke Skywalker, Bespin Luke Skywalker, and finally Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker in the black robe. I think a version of Luke where you can get multiple different chases, have it be a pretty big piece count run so that people can buy multiple cases for themselves to try and get all of those chases. I think that's an awesome idea. Definitely would be a pain in the ass to try to find all of the chases, but then you're not stuck with a Bespin Luke Skywalker like I end up will be, because obviously, like I said, not my favorite version of Luke, but I do think it's a pretty cool figure, and the chase is awesome as well. So I will buy at least one of these cans. Then we have the Japanese Spider-Man, and I disagree with DK. I think that this is awesome. I think it's really cool. I don't know if it's just me loving Japanese culture and everything to do with Japan, and also loving Spider-Man a lot too. But I do think this is a great can. I think that Previews is an awesome exclusive for it to be. The chase is okay. I mean, glow in the dark, they probably could have done something else with the chase. But overall, I don't think it's bad. I will definitely pick up at least one of these cans. And then we have Stone Cold Steve Austin, the first ever WWE soda can. And this is so cool. I really enjoy this. I like both versions. I think it would have been cool if the common would have been maybe just him in his tights rather than being in what looks like full jeans, even though it should just be like jorts, I guess you could say. It could have been done better where we could have had something a little bit different. But I do think that giving him the Smoking Skull title for the chase is a great idea because I know DK's getting a full case of this for sure. I'd be happy with a common, to be honest, but I mean, I wouldn't be upset with the chase. The chase is really cool as well. And I do agree with DK when he says that the next sodas that we will see for WWE will probably be the Rock and John Cena. Besides the Rock and John Cena, two other cans that I think we would see very fast after those ones would be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, most likely. And I don't know. I would probably collect every single soda can as they come out because we both love wrestling, and I just think it's a great idea for soda cans. Then we have the Stormtrooper with the metallic chase. And I don't know if I like this. I do think that the metallic chase is going to look really cool because I think that white metallic looks sweet. I think it turns out very, very well as long as it doesn't dip into silver too much. And then we have Darth Vader, and this is a really cool soda can. I definitely need to buy one of these. I do want the chase, but again, I think I'd be happy with just the common. I do think that this is going to be one of the best Star Wars soda cans, and it just looks so clean. It looks really good. Darth Vader's awesome, and making it 20,000 pieces is a great idea because this is going to sell a lot. And I don't think that this will be a shelf sitter at all. I think that this is going to be flying off shelves because people love Darth Vader for some reason. Me, not so much, but people like DK definitely do. Then we have Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop, and this is a really cool looking soda. I don't know what it is about this soda figure, but I really like the look of this. But at the same time, I think it's the laziest chase we have ever seen. I think that they could have done almost anything else and I would have been happier. So hear me out. You have your common with the sunglasses, and then you want your rare chase figure to be less better than your common, which is like, and literally exactly that, literally less of a figure. There's less figure there because the sunglasses are gone. I think that it could have been metallic, flock the hair by all means, like anything. They could have done anything to this figure. This is by far the worst chase soda can I have ever seen. And then we have Ashy from Samurai Jack. And this is a pretty cool figure. I like the common. I think the chase looks really good as well. I do kind of remember the common version of what I remember this character as from Samurai Jack. I don't really remember that black outfit, but maybe that's part of the new seasons. I don't really know. I haven't watched Samurai Jack in so long, but I do think that both of these figures look good and they're different enough where people are definitely going to want to get both the common and the chase. Then we have the sock monkey. And yeah, this is definitely not something I thought we'd ever see, but I'm so glad that we are seeing this. I think that this is such a good idea. I love sock monkeys. And I think that I definitely want to get some of these cans. I don't know if I want to go out and have to find that chase. If I get it in the first couple of cans, awesome. But if I have to go on and keep buying cans, I don't think I'll do it. Then we have Shorty from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and this is really cool. I think we expected to see more of these clowns in soda form, and it makes sense that, again, it's a blacklight chase, and I think that both of them look really good. I think that if you're a blacklight collector or a huge fan of Killer Clowns, you're definitely going to want to get both the common and the chase. And last but not least, we have George Jetson, and the common is a pretty cool character. I really like that you have that pose for George Jetson. I think he did a good job kind of translating to soda form. He looks a little weird, but then again, so does the pop because he does have a weird kind of shaped head that really gets molded into a different way when you look at Funko figures in general. And then you have the chase. I don't like this chase. I understand the chase. He's got the helmet on. Okay, cool. But I think it's a little bit lazy. I kind of wish we would have seen maybe just a different pose and facial expression from George Jetson, whether he's being a little angry or worried, something like that. I think that that would have been a little bit better of a chase, but I don't think this is necessarily a terrible chase. I will probably get one of these kids to go alongside with my Rosie. And if I got the chase, cool. If I got the common, that's fine by me as well.
Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this week's edition of a Funko Podcast. If you enjoyed this all soda edition of a Funko Podcast, make sure you smash that like button, comment in the comment section below, and let us know what your favorite Funko soda was from the selection we talked about today. Press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And if you guys haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at a Funko Podcast. It'll be listed in the description below. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this week's edition of a Funko Podcast, and we hope to see you guys next week for the top 10 Funko Pops of March 2022. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Peace in, peace out.